So who's a fan of anime? Who's a fan of heist movies? Who's seen Baby Driver? Or The Italian Job? Or the anime series Lupin the Third? Or Cowboy Bebop? Whoa, whoa! You kidding me? This guy hasn't seen Cowboy Bebop. Wow, even my neighbor's seen it, and he's blind. Unbelievable. I think my mom would have given me up for adoption had she known I never seen Cowboy Bebop. This guy hasn't seen Cowboy Bebop? I better tell my mom. Wow, I am beyond who is this guy? This guy hasn't seen Cowboy Bebop? Huh? You tell me this boy hasn't seen Cowboy Bop? Man, I'm 97 years old, and I've seen it. Oh, even the squirrels in my backyard. Here, maybe this will motivate you. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Juice Talkies. I'm Josh Perez, and if you're not subscribed to this channel, consider subscribing. If you enjoy movies or TV shows and reviews, this is the place to be. So just a quick overview on my rating system for those of you who are new. It's a little bit non-traditional. It's a little bit different, unique to my setup. It's not what you would normally expect. So, you know, just in case you start seeing like, you know, Juice flying up on the screen and me mentioning Juice, that you're not thinking that I'm thirsty or something. I like to rate my movies based off if it's good, okay, or bad. Groovy juice, scrambled juice, and garbage juice. And I think it's pretty obvious of what those mean. So Great Pretender, a new anime series that, to my surprise, not many people are talking about. And they should be talking about it and watching it too. Because this anime series is freaking awesome. But I think it's just one of those animes that just haven't caught on yet, or, you know, people haven't noticed it yet, but it's being received really well. So like I mentioned earlier, if you're into those Ocean 11 type movies or The Italian Job, any heist film or TV series like that, this is gonna be up your alley, especially with anime series like Lupin the Third, which I have not seen that series, but I have seen Castle of Cagliostro, only because that was Hayao Miyazaki's directorial debut and his first animated film. So I am familiar with that, and there are some similarities to that whole heist aesthetic in this series as well. And some similarities from Cowboy Bebop. I know, and I know, shame on me for not having seen it, yet alone owning the movie and still haven't got around to even watching it. Like, I should just be beaten up in a dark alley somewhere, and I'm sure that movie is just buried in dust. Goodies never say die! So in Great Pretender, our main protagonist, I'm gonna butcher it, I know it, Makoto Edamura. Where's my Rosetta Stone? Or Edamame, as they're gonna nickname him later in this series. And so our main character claims to be Japan's greatest con man. And take that with a grain of salt, because a lot of the crimes and stuff he does in the beginning is very small and petty stuff. So he's very overly confident and cocky and a little bit of a narcissist also. And he has this fascination with gachapon, which are these capsule toys that are sold in Japan. And he buys these all the time because he believes that each one that he gets brings some kind of fortune or good luck to him. And I did not get the obsession with these gachapon until I was actually in Japan, in Tokyo, myself earlier this year before the pandemic started. And it was like every 15 or 20 feet that I walked, there was a kiosk or a machine where they would have them, and it would just range from different types, from, you know, anime characters, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, to just regular animals, and just, there were just all kinds. And they even had gachapon stores where you would walk in and every inch of the wall was just filled with these machines. And that was just really cool to see because you had all kinds of people buying these. Like, they just weren't for kids. These were for adults too, and these stores would be packed with people trying to get the ones they wanted. And I actually did get a few of these while I was there. This is one that I got for Goku, Super Saiyan Blue. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but they're really small. They're very, very small, as you can see. But I mean, these are really cool. But he ends up finding his way into this criminal world for several reasons. His dad being an ex-con for one, the fact that he used to work for a company that was engaging in fraudulent activities. And, you know, he was busted as well for just being an employee. And also his dying mother that he's trying to take care of. He's trying to live an honest life, get an honest job so that way he can take care of her. But it just doesn't end up working out the way he wants it to. And so later he finds himself joining this small group of con artists that go by the name of Team Confidence. So right off the bat, I have to say that I really loved how this show organized its episodes for this season, because it's not going to be one big heist for this whole entire season. The way they do it is they divide them up into subplots or heists. You have 3 to 4 episodes per heist, and I like that because it kept the series interesting, it kept it engaging, and you didn't know what to expect or what was going to come next for the next heist. And of all the 3 heists, the very first one has to be my favorite. And that's the one where they're trying to con this movie director who's also part of the mafia and drug cartel. And they scam the guy by selling him candy that they convince him the thing is drugs, and he buys into it. And they even convince him to build a laboratory so that way the main protagonist, Edamame, can go and cook this fake drug for him. And the reference to Breaking Bad is so blatant and in your face. And it's so awesome because they even call out Walter White. They even reference his name in that first heist. And I thought that was so cool. And part of me was actually hoping that the entire series was like Breaking Bad. But, you know, in the end, I was perfectly fine with them keeping the storytelling and the cases fresh. And the characters are really interesting too. These aren't just cardboard cutout and wooden characters. Each character has a purpose, they have a goal, and they have a backstory. And I love how it's laid out in this series because this series is kind of a slow build. It's a little bit slower paced, but I feel like it just fits the series well and the characters because you don't want everything dished out in the first 2 or 3 episodes. Like, you need time to marinate the characters, you need time to just marinate their stories, and that way you can just kind of find them more interesting. And one of the most interesting and funny things about the main character, Edamame, is that this guy just ends up getting real back into the game. And it's not that he's not getting good gigs or jobs. I mean, he ends up, a chef at a sushi restaurant, an airplane mechanic, but it's just that itch that he has to scratch. And I guess the thrill and the excitement of working with this group, it always has him going back. And another thing that's refreshing with this series is that this small group of con artists, they're kind of like the Robin Hoods of this series. They aren't just stealing from just any rich person and being selfish with their selfish needs and purposes. They are stealing from bad people, and they are taking that money, turning it around, and also doing some good with it, giving it back to the community and giving it to those who were affected by these people that they're stealing it from. And that just kind of makes you care about the characters a little bit more and feel more connected to them. And my favorite character happens to be Abigail Jones, because she is like the Letty of Great Pretender. Like, she is tough, man. Like, she is a tough egg to crack. She's tough, she's thick-skinned, and, you know, like, she starts off as a mystery too. We don't really get a lot on her right away. Like, we don't know what her motivations are. We don't know what her deal is or her story, but we do know that she is a loner. So when she's not working with the group, pulling off these heists and putting on this act, like, she is spending time alone. Like, she does not want to have like any kind of connection with anybody. But, you know, she's my favorite, and I love her attitude. I just love her character and persona, and she keeps it real, folks. She keeps it real. Also, I've got to talk about the animation, because the animation is one of the most unique style choices I have ever seen in any anime. Everything looks like Fruity Pebbles. Everything looks like someone took apart a piñata and use that for the backdrops, because it's so vibrant, it's so colorful. Everything looks like a paper mache. Super amazing. And when you're dealing with a heist movie or series, you gotta have the right music. And I feel like this series does that perfectly well. It has that jazzy, upbeat music that is super appropriate for this genre type. And it's fun, and it does remind you of Cowboy Bebop or other heist movies, that kind of jazzy funk music that they use. Now, the only one single complaint I had about this series, and I think it's something that they can improve upon later in the show, was the lack of stakes, or the lack of a proper cat and mouse game between Team Confidence and the police. Yeah, sure, you do get that in the first couple of episodes, but it feels like this group of con artists, they aren't really under anyone's radar or suspicion like later on in the series. So it's missing the risk that they'll get caught or go to jail, and you know, it almost at times just feels too easy. So all in all, I had a really great time with this anime. I was not expecting this. I was super surprised. It's very different. It's a breath of fresh air, and it's not your typical anime fare of, you know, action anime or science fiction. And it's something different. And you know, if you're a fan of anime, if you're a fan of heists, movies, like this is definitely one you're not gonna wanna miss. So I'm gonna give Great Pretender Groovy Juice. So yeah, check it out and let me know down below if you've seen it already. And let me know, what is your favorite anime series? Mine is, this is a tough one. It's between Dragon Ball Z and Naruto Shippuden. And I have those two going like head to head. And it's super tough. Like, I love them both to death. And if you guys enjoyed this video, give me a like and I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe and keep your groovy.